Well, I was sitting in a tree stand this morning. About 6:25, he comes walking in, and I shot and missed the first one. And then he just moved out of the way, and I shot and dropped him in his tracks this morning. Good morning.
We're in northern Davidson County right now, and at Processor, and they bring in a tremendous number of deer. Since we're testing for CWD this year, as we have in past years, but we've upped the quota this year, and so we've come to the processors that process the greatest number of deer to get a better sample. Our sample size this year is somewhere around 1,500 for the state. We want to try to get 535 for Region 2, and that's probably half of what we'll do in subsequent years. We'll probably open up to 3,000 next year. 23-2? Well, one of the reasons why we're staying on top of it is if we find it, we're going to be able to isolate it into a particular area, and then we probably will up the harvest in that particular area to try to harvest any other deer that might have this particular disease, and CWD being chronic wasting disease. 16.5 length. When a hunter comes in, we go ahead and take antler measurements if it's a buck, and no matter what size the deer is, we ask if they are going to mount it. At that point in time, we go ahead and find the two angles of the jaw. And just like when you or I are sick, we have these two glands here that swell up. We're looking for those two glands in the deer, and we'll go ahead and collect those two glands, at which time we'll go ahead and freeze them. We will send them to Colorado State, and they will go ahead and section them off looking for the CWD prion. And it's not a bacteria, it's not a virus. A prion is a mutated protein, so it's not like you can take an antibiotic or anything like that.
Other than being windy, it was a good day. Nice and cold, so he was running by himself, and the neck is swollen real good, so just glad to be outdoors.
Oh, they're really excited that we're out here doing that. Most of the time we'll ask them, do you mind if we take samples? And they say, no, take anything you want. They're very happy to know that we're out here trying to stay on top of it and try to find it before it gets out of hand. Here we are, opening day of gun season, and I've been doing this for a lot of years, and today we had a whole deer come in from Missouri, which is a CWD positive state. And so we had to call our local wildlife officer and have him confiscate the deer. We're going to go ahead and test the tissue and see whether it is CWD positive or not.
Missouri is one of the states that's considered from Tennessee a chronic wasting disease infected state. That deer was brought in, its full body, as you can see behind me, the carcass and everything was brought in, and that's illegal in the state of Tennessee.
The reason we're banning deer from CWD states, positive states, from coming into the state of Tennessee is because of the mutated prion or mutated protein that the deer possess. It's found in bone and nervous tissue.
In order to bring an animal or a white-tailed deer in from another state that is considered to have chronic wasting disease or CWD, it would have to be deboned fully, so the meat would have to be all off of the bone. The antlers, if they're attached to the head, the skull plate would have to be cleaned from all tissue and material, including brain material. Finished taxidermy products can be brought in, as well as tanned hides and skins and stuff like that.
You can go online, Tennessee CWD ban, and it'll bring up a map of all the states in the United States and even some of the provinces in Canada where there are CWD positive deer, and you cannot bring bone and nervous tissue from any of the cervids, deer, elk, mule deer, back into the state. You can't do it. So you need to be aware of all the regulations, and if you have any questions, you can always call TWRA and they will give you the information you need.
It is a serious issue, and we don't want our deer herds infected with this disease, and that's why we're not allowing these animals to come in from other states in Tennessee without the proper measures to make sure the deer is clean before it comes in.